I've seen way too much anime. And because of that, I feel like it's my job to show you the good, the bad, and the mid that anime has to offer. And today we're going to be talking about Dandadan. And here's the thing. I only have 5 minutes to do this whole thing, including this intro, so I'm going to get right into the review. And to be honest, I really don't have much to say. And I know a lot of people, after my first video of me talking about solo leveling, I'm sure they probably thought I'd have an opinion on Dandadan. However, I think it kind of lives up to the hype for what the show is. Now, I will say the show has a couple of drawbacks for me. Sometimes it gets overly sexual, with the girls in their underwear, or even whatever the main character's name is, and him being naked or whatever. Now, I will say that I understand the whole thing about his golden balls, and spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the show, but the whole thing with his golden balls is funny, hilarious, and great. It's just sometimes the over sexualization of like a high school kids is weird for me, considering how old I am now. But that being said, I think Dandadan really does live up to the hype. Again, there are some points that I'm like, okay, man, give it a rest. But if I'm comparing it to other shows that we've been waiting for and that have been highly anticipated, like Chainsaw Man, Solo Leveling, Kaiju number 8, I'm gonna be honest, Dandadan is the best of those that I've just named, in my opinion. And before I get into it anymore, I'm going to give a little bit of a synopsis about the anime, just for anybody who hasn't seen it. You guys should probably give it a shot. I'm pretty sure I gave it like a 8 out of 10. But pretty much, there is a girl main character and a guy main character. The guy believes in aliens, the girl believes in ghosts. The guy doesn't believe in ghosts, the girl doesn't believe in aliens. They make a bet, and pretty much it's like, okay, well, if I'm right, then you be my friend. If I'm right, then you're like my slave, or something like that, something along those lines. Or no, I think the girl is like, if I'm right, then you never talk to me again, or something like that. And it turns out that they're both correct. There are aliens in this world, and there are ghosts or spirits in this world. And I will say that we really got only a couple instances of aliens in this show. We got mostly like spiritual stuff. And I will say that the transformations in the show, the art styles in the show are all fantastic. Let me think of a drawback, because I feel like I'm being too nice. This is kind of nitpicky, but I was not a fan of how they ended the season. A big thing for me, because I've seen such a lot of anime, like I've seen over 700 shows as of recording this. The difference between shows that know they're going to get a second season and shows that don't know they're going to get a second season is how they end the anime. And I will say Dandadan's ending kind of left a lot to be desired, in my opinion, but it's because they knew they were getting a second season, therefore they ended it the way they did. Now, take some random seasonal anime, none of that crappy isekai shit, but take a random seasonal anime that doesn't know whether or not they're going to get a second season, and they create a beautiful 12-ep season of anime. And they end it in a way where, if this is the end, then it's great. But also, if they do get greenlit for a second season after the show comes out and gets, popular after the fact, they can make a second season. So I will say, for me, the one biggest drawback of Dandadan is the ending. Kind of just left a lot to be desired, and like I'm not a fan of being blue-balled by a show, because if you've been watching anime for a long time, you know that a lot of these shows get greenlit for a second season, but sometimes it just doesn't happen, or we wait much longer than we think we're going to. For instance, One Punch Man, we thought we were going to get a second season of that much quicker than we did. But, again, that's pretty nitpicky. All in all, Dandadan has a fantastic story. It has fantastic characters. It's funny. There's hints of romance. There's action. Pretty much everything that you want from a show. I think that if you're a high school kid, you're going to really like it. If you're an adult, I think you're also going to like it. But there are some weird bits in there that you might have to, get around. But yeah, all that being said, man, Dandadan for me is an 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching.